Namaste. Good morning. I'm sitting this morning in a meditation that feels like that is. How do I put this? This morning's meditation feels like it is emerging, like there's an emergence back into a sense of aliveness, a sense of vitality, a sense of excitement with life. This last week has been a period of malaise. It's been a period of going, not just going within, but kind of like a hiding, a quietness, a melancholy of sorts. And what I wanted to speak to this morning is the experiences that we all go through of the human experience, the rising and falling of excitement, of enthusiasm, of clarity, or malaise and quiet and sadness and grief. And to be able to be on this beautiful journey, anchored to a through line, connected to our eternal spiritual nature, our eternal self, so that when we are having the full human experience, we can allow ourselves to have it, because it's not going to necessarily sweep us away. We are anchored to a core eternal nature of the imperishable love that we are. So for me this last week, I recognize one of the things that sent me, if you will, or moved me into a state of quietness and a sense of, again, it felt like a malaise, just not being kind of like, I'm not excited, engaged, moving forward at a real vital pace. Was that a dear friend of mine who's just become one of my best friends is having some life experiences where she's no longer present, no longer available, and literally physically has had to move out of town, and has become one of my absolute most cherished connections. You know, those people in our lives that when we're with them, we're just able to explore so richly into the dynamic of life. And there's a sadness, there's a grief. And what I wanted to speak to this morning is that grief was able to be felt more fully because it was being held. It was happening within a knowing that the eternal state of being is pure love. It's like a parent, that we are both the parent and the child. I could allow the child to feel the grief, to feel the hurt, to feel the sadness, and kind of descend into it and be in it and allow it to wash over and through me, because I'm also the parent that's holding that space for that experience to happen. And the analogy is that if any of you are climbers, when you're climbing a mountain, you've got the rope attached to you and you've got your your partner at the far end of the rope, they've got you. And as you're climbing the mountain, you're anchoring into the mountain with your equipment. You're anchoring into the mountain and running the rope through the carabiner in the anchor, so that you can explore fully. Okay, I'm anchored to truth. I'm anchored to something solid, a stability. We anchor through our meditations, through our inquiries, through our awakening we anchor to our eternal truth. That's anchoring into the mountain, so that then I can explore fully. I can take risks. I can move off and climb off in this direction, knowing that my rope is connected to something solid. And sure enough, we fall at times. And in that fall, there's a sense of, it's scary. There's a sense of, oh crap, I'm falling. But at the same time, I'm falling, but I'm anchored. I can only fall so far. I can only fall so far. This is not a dark hole. This is not a swept away into the experience. It is allowing me to have the experience while anchored to truth. Now, if I haven't set my anchors through my meditations, if I haven't connected on a regular basis to a faith, to an embodied knowing of eternal nature, of eternal loving nature, then without that rope, without that connection, without that anchor into the solidness of life, the solidness of our spiritual nature, if that's not there and I fall, then the fall goes all the way to the bottom, and it's a more panicked fall. And it was so sweet to have this whole week knowing that, I'm not connected to, I'm working on some online programs and those are exciting. It's not exciting this week. I withdrew in. I wasn't as connected with friends and family. I was just more quiet. But I kept with my meditations. I wasn't writing as much. And it felt like you fall on that rope and you dangle for a while before you can get back onto the rock, before you can get another hold back onto the rock and start climbing again. And so to allow this truth, this beautiful experience of the human condition of sadness and grief and loss, and allow it to have an impact and not panic. No, it's all right. This is happening within love. This loss is happening within love. I'm anchored to love. I'm anchored to truth. I'm anchored to wholeness. I'm anchored to an eternal nature of being. So the invitation here this morning is just to remember our practices of anchoring into the truth of who we are. Who are we really? And not to wait until the fall is starting to happen and then say, oh crap, I better try to grasp for and get an anchor into some solidity, anchor into the mountain. But to have a practice, when you're climbing, you put in your anchor, and then you climb another 10 feet, and you put in another anchor, and you climb another 10, 15 feet, and you put in another anchor. And if you're coming to a really particularly difficult part of the climb, maybe you put in your anchors a little bit more closely together so that you can fully enjoy the climb. So you can fully enjoy, I might fall, and that might be a bit scary, but I've got my anchors in the rock. I'm practicing my inquiries into, that's right, who am I really? Oh, I'm the imperishable nature of love. I am imperishable, unconditional love. And I can now have this beautiful climb, this beautiful human climb through this life, which will have beautiful successes, and it'll have falls, and it'll have difficulties. The weather will blow in, and it'll get cold, and it'll get rainy, and then it'll get sunny, and it'll get bright. But the climb gets to be fully experienced in all of its rich dynamics, because there's a consistent anchoring to truth. There's a consistent anchoring to the solidity of our eternal, spiritual, imperishable, loving nature. Whew, what a difference to go through a week of malaise and not panic and not judge. And not fall all the way down to the bottom and get smashed on the rocks. But to get beat up a little bit, you fall, you scrape yourself, you're dangling on the rope and you're dangling underneath your anchor, and you get banged up a bit, but then you get back on the rock. Thank goodness I was anchored to some truth. Blessings. Namaste. Much love. If you like this video and you'd like to see similar content, please subscribe to my channel. As well, click that like button down below, and that's going to make this video more available for more people. And visit me on my website, chessedwards.com. There's a link for that down below. There you are going to find valuable resources for living a conscious, powerful, and peaceful life. As well, you're going to find information there about how to work with me one-on-one, or how you can build your own custom private immersion retreat, a 3-day retreat with me here in Sedona. As well, there's information about upcoming group retreats, virtual retreats, and so much more. I hope to see you there, and I've got a few free gifts for you as well. Thanks for watching.